still spinning. It's still spinning. It's still spinning. It's still It's stopped.
Ooh. Hey. Have you heard the news about the next season of Doctor Who?
No.
We talk about Doctor Who a lot on this show, dear listener. I don't know if you've noticed, but we have a lot of opinions. Doctor Who are abandoning previous sort of structures and going for the one overarching storyline for the entire series, and every episode will have a cliffhanger.
Oh my god,
what do we think about that?
That's very interesting. I'm kind of excited.
Me too. Because at the end of the day, that's what WandaVision, Fatwas, and Loki were going for.
Yeah, but is that just copying
this one overarching story? I imagine so, yeah, because it's what a lot of shows are doing nowadays. A lot of sort of modern produced TV shows are sort of taking the idea of one overarching narrative of just a movie and then cutting it up into 6 episodes or whatever.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get 1 or 2 little anthology type episodes in the series, but I think it's all just going to be one big story.
That's what I was going to say. Like, TV shows are just becoming shorter and shorter. Like, it used to, in America, it used to be like 22 episodes a season.
Yeah,
and then it became like 13, and sometimes it's 10. But now it's like going down to like on
6
and 8. Like, it's like, I hope that we're not like losing like important sort of character stuff. Like I mentioned Breaking Bad on Friday, but like Breaking Bad, it was like
it was 20 episodes a season for 6 seasons. Yeah,
no, it was 13, I think.
Oh, okay.
And it was 16 in the last season. But like, even though that's like, it's 13 hours of television, like it gave you time to sort of see these characters sort of change. And I think I worry that like, if it's just 6 episodes, that's a lot of sort of development to go through and a lot of plot to go through at the same time. So I'm a bit wary of it, but I do like that Doctor Who is switching it up a wee bit. And
as do I, yeah, because the narrative that's been the problem, has been that there's there's both too much and not enough overarching narrative. And so maybe just a complete overhaul of it will help massively.
I think it's going to help Chris Chibnall a wee bit more, because
I think so.
Like when he did
the Chibster,
the big Chibbers, he obviously did Broadchurch, which is a show that follows on from each episode, and Broadchurch is very, very good. It's a very good show. It's very well written, Can
I tell you a secret?
Go on.
I have not watched Broadchurch.
Fucking David Tennant and Olivia Colman. Oh my god!
I know. It's one of my great shames is that I haven't actually watched it.
And Jodie Whittaker's in that as well, and she's fantastic. It's like, but maybe it's a bit easier for him, and it's going to make it a bit more sort of in his sort of ballpark, and maybe him, having it more like classic sort of series was just a bit difficult for him, because like you got with like previous Doctor Who seasons with like Russell T Davies, like there were sort of hints sprinkled throughout the season about what the big bad was going to be, or the big sort of threat. Whereas you would get a little bit of that with like you got an episode with Tim Shaw at the the first episode of season 11.
Yeah,
and then he showed up at the end of season 11, which was
odd.
Yeah, I mean,
to say the least.
Yeah, the Tooth Fairy or whatever the guy. So it's like it was completely out of nowhere. And what was season 12? There was Sacha Dhawan as the Master, which was and then there was that middle episode with the new Doctor, Ruth. So I mean that was like I think Chibbers is desperate for it to follow on from each other. I think that is his bread and butter. It seems that he was hinting towards that. The Timeless Child arc. Oh fuck yeah, I forgot about that. It's been so long since I've thought about Chibbers' era of Doctor Who that I'm like, oh no, what a load of work.
I'm remembering how weird it all was and how kind of crap it all was.
Yeah. I watched a really good video on it called The Fall of Doctor Who, and
is that 5-hour video essay that I've seen in my YouTube recommendations?
Yeah, it's really good, and it explains a lot about the problems with Chibbers' sort of era. So it's not just us being bitter shits, you know. A lot of this same stuff was said.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I am a bitter shit, but
yeah, but no, I'm excited. I want to see how it goes. You know, like no one watching Doctor Who wants it to fail. That's the thing. We want it to be good. We
That's
want
the
to be
frustrating
entertained.
thing, yeah.
You know, but we'll see. I guess. What about you, Lewis? Do you have any sort of hot takes or thoughts on it?
I'm afraid that's it for now. I don't know. I want Doctor Who to be good again.
Yeah.
There's so much good sci-fi out there, and I absorb a lot of sci-fi just through, because it's probably sci-fi, maybe horror are like my favorite genres. So I'm always on the lookout for like a good sci-fi TV show or a good sci-fi book, especially.
Yeah.
So it's just frustrating to me when we get to a point where it's like, oh, the new series of Doctor Who's coming out and it's a bit shit.
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay, can we just please try this time?
No, definitely.
Can we please just have a go at making something new and different and good? That was what got me so excited about the last season of Doctor Who, was that it got progressively better as the series went on.
Yeah.
I remember as we were doing the Whispers, every single episode I was like, oh, this is getting better. Oh, this is getting better. Oh, this is getting better.
Yeah.
And then the final episode just shit all over itself. And I was like, oh, well, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It was like they were doing stuff that was different. And while a lot of the episodes were a hit or a miss, like Orphan 55 and the what was it called? Praxeus, is that it? The plastic one. It was like I can't even fucking remember. But like the introduction of the other Doctor, the lone Cyberman, like these were like
really good, really exciting.
The Haunting of what's it called?
Villa Diodati.
Yeah, that is like, because it's Mary Shelley and there's this literal epitome of Frankenstein's monster walking about. That's interesting. That's really a really cool, interesting concept. But obviously, it's just with execution, you know? It all comes down to that. Because some of the stories are just like, wow, that's a really good idea. And then it's as if it doesn't have faith in its own sort of premise, you know? But I think this structure will really help Chibnall in a way that it hasn't before.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
You know? And it might, you know, keep people more engaged, I would say. But I guess we'll see.
Indeed. Maybe they're hoping for like a bit of a Twitter mob to form. Of like, oh, what's going to happen next week in Doctor Who?
Yeah,
is it going to be Alligator Doctor?
Love Island at the moment. Love Island's on, and like every time
I go to great lengths to avoid Love Island. So, and not only do I not know that Love Island's on, I actively do not want to know that Love Island is on.
Yeah, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. I watch it with my girlfriend, so it's like you know, while I hate everyone in the show, I do love a bit of fucking needless, vapid drama in my life, you know.
Well, I do love a bit of reality TV. It has to be said. I do love reality TV. And I think while there are reality TV shows that have been really nailing it, like RuPaul's Drag Race has won about 1 million Emmys every year for the last decade.
Yeah.
But like, there are also reality TV shows like Love Island that are just, they exist to be a guilty pleasure. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
By the way, nobody ever talks about this. How fucked up is it that 2 people that have been on Love Island have killed themselves?
Yeah.
How fucked is that?
I think it's more. I think it's 3.
Is it? Jesus.
Obviously,
the show has a...
Caroline Flack, who was the host.
Oh God, yeah, of course.
And there was 2 other contestants. I mean, like Jeremy Kyle was taken off there after 1 person killed themselves. So it's like, I mean, as much as I treat it as a guilty pleasure, if less people kill themselves, if the show is like put off, then put it off immediately.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's no sort of 2 ways about it. But we've went into Love Island now, so maybe we should do a bullshit for that another time.